All right, welcome back into Study Ball after Super Wild Card Weekend. And we're going to start the week by taking a look at Daniel Jones. Had one of his best games as a pro. So many good things, 300 yards passing, another 70-some rushing, really putting the team on his back, making big play after big play. And I love what Brian Daboll has done in this offense to build it around Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. And a lot of it is running the same pass concepts over and over again. Things that Daniel Jones is comfortable with, getting him out in space so he can, run the naked bootlegs and he can have opportunities to run where he feels very comfortable on the outside. Still a long way to go for Daniel Jones in terms of continuing to see the field. But what Brian Daboll has done to simplify the pass game and do things that he's comfortable with has allowed him to become a better passer this year as he continues to grow as a quarterback. So let's dive into the tape from this past week against Minnesota, and let me show you the good things that Daniel Jones is doing and maybe some of the little nuances that he can continue to get better at. All right, so I tweeted out this week, when I watched this film, obviously Daniel Jones pops out at you because he had a great performance. But what also popped out at me was the issues that the Minnesota Vikings had defensively so many times, okay? So here's what I want to show you right here. So as we get Saquon Barkley moving and motion into this side, what we're always looking for offensively is how does the defense shift? So we go from a three-receiver side to the left to a three-receiver side to the right. And so what you notice defensively is, there's three guys over here and there's four guys over here, or basically three guys because we're just talking about the underneath guys. So three guys to this side. So when I motion somebody over to the other side, I'm looking as a quarterback to see, okay, what do they do on the backside? Do they push this thing over and, and come back and overload the three receiver side, or do they stay where they're at and give me an advantage to the opposite side? So we're watching, what does Minnesota do? They do nothing, right? Nobody crosses the ball once we motion Saquon Barkley. So what that tells me is I've only got two guys to the top. They've got three, so I'm not going there. Now I've got three guys to the bottom. They've got three. That's where my advantage is, okay? And with that, you're going to see Kendricks turn and run with Saquon Barkley, all right? Why is that important? Well, first, it looks like it's man-to-man coverage, but the play that we're going to have here is slant, slant, swing. All right, so normally we really read the outside slant to the swing most of the time. The inside slant can happen, but it's more of just a happening based on what a defense does. So I wouldn't normally look at it right off the bat, except Kendricks goes running out here with Saquon Barkley, which opens up this entire area right here. So just want you to watch this. We come off on the slant. Great job by Daniel Jones recognizing it, seeing the movement. What is Minnesota doing? This guy's outside, 39's outside the slant. The next guy's all the way on the other side of the hash to the other side. They leave the entire middle of the field wide open right here. Easy pitch and catch for a big play to Ricky James right there. Richie James. I don't know what they're doing. Are they playing man or are they playing zone? Looks like Kendricks is playing man. Looks like everybody else is playing zone, and we void the middle of the field. Boom. Big play, easy play for Daniel Jones. All right, I'm showing you this because this is a staple in their offense. When I said that they run a lot of the same plays over and over and over again, this is one, if you watch the Giants play, they are going to run this 5-6 times a game, okay? Some version of this. So the version is we're going to run one guy on some sort of post, double move, go to the backside. Then we're going to run another guy on an over. So what we call a post-over combination. And then somehow, some way, we're going to get somebody working to the flat. And so this helps young quarterbacks because it splits the field in half. And the read basically stays the same. This is what we call kind of a pure progression read, meaning if we get the right look, we can peek at the post first. And if there's anybody back there covering the post, then it simply becomes a high-low read right here between the over and the flat. Okay, so you see the play action. Okay, here comes the post. We've got a safety back there, so that X's that thing out very, very quickly. And now we're looking at the flat defender. This is some version of man, which I think it is. We got this guy here as Hodgins moves inside. He goes inside with him, so I guess it's some form of man that nobody's out here when we run this over. But again, we're outside leverage, playing man-to-man coverage, leaving the middle of the field wide open. Daniel steps up, and you see it. Easy pitch and catch. Nobody in this area with man-to-man outside leverage, making it easy. And again, a lot of times you're playing outside leverage when a guy gets into a stack alignment. But you have to understand, when you play outside leverage man, you got the whole field that if he wants to come across the field, it's hard to play catch-up. And right here, not able to do it. Easy pitch and catch, another big chunk throw right there for Daniel Jones. All right, so here we go. They like to run the combination, right? They like it. Here we go. Post, over, flat. Just brought a jet sweep over there to try to hold those linebackers back to that side, but same combination. So I'm coming back, all right? I'm reading the safety. Safety's getting depth right here. Now it comes down to the flat read. Flat read is jumping the flat. Here comes my over. Same read, things I'm comfortable with, boom. Get the big play. Notice that my receiver runs into the safety. They go down, creates more of an opening, but we pick up almost 50 yards on their favorite play. All right, like the concept here. So again, trying to keep things to one side where we can do pure progression type stuff for our young quarterback. So we're gonna run a switch seam right here, okay, or what I might call a shoot route. So the inside guy is coming, the outside guy is coming inside and kind of clearing through that safety, whether you want to call it a post or a seam. And the inside guy is releasing outside, running a shoot down the sideline. It's like a go route down the sideline there. Then we're going to run a swing with Saquon Barkley, and then we're going to have a shallow. So again, quarterback comes out. This could be an alert to the inside, but you don't really throw that too much. So what we're really looking at is one, okay? We're looking like the guy down the sideline. If he's being covered by the flat defender, we go two, and then we work three. So our eyes can just stay to that side, boom, 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 regardless of what the coverage is, and we've got our options. So here, you see they're playing man-to-man coverage, or at least it looks like man-to-man coverage, right? They're running here, they're running here. Looks like man-to-man coverage. All right, so if I'm Daniel Jones, I'm coming out and I'm reading basically that defender. That defender chases the shoot. So I'm looking to the swing, right? These are the things I want to see him continue to get better at. So shoot. Now look at the swing. Swing's wide open right here. Could take the swing. He ends up coming back to the shallow. So again, not all bad. He's working through some stuff. I want him to see things a little bit better if he can. But here's another one of those things that I'm asking. Minnesota, what are you doing? Okay, you guys are going to play man. Kendricks is going to drop back here and play zone. Saquon Barkley standing out here, their best player from a playmaking standpoint, is out there all by himself. Daniel, read that, read the shoot. Okay, so safety's here. So this inside one is gone. Read the shoot. Oh, that guy carries the shoot. Is there somebody else out there that goes to cover the swing? So if Kendrick goes out to cover the swing, now we hit our shallow coming back inside. Since Kendrick stays inside, now I'd like him just to kick it out. We get the completion, we get a positive play, but it's just 4 yards where we could have had a big play if we kick this to the outside. All right, love this design right here. All right, so play we call 722 down here on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to push up and run a 7. Then we're going to run a 2 and a 2. All right, teams like to run this down in the red zone. You get man-to-man. You got a bunch of routes that are breaking away from people. So a really good play against man-to-man coverage. We can use it against cover 2. So if we push that guy vertical and this guy carries him, we can replace underneath to this guy, even though really in cover 2 they've got guys to cover this. So not my favorite play, but if it's my only option, try to make that work. But so with that 722, they're going to use this 7 to hold this backside safety here. All right, so that's part 1. Part two, we're going to use this under to hold this Mike linebacker. So if this Mike linebacker wants to turn and get out of there, I can hit that under. But because we have a 3 receiver side to that side and we get that under, great chance to hold that Mike linebacker right there. Okay, so we get what we want on the front side. And now here's where it becomes key. On the back side, we're going to run something that I call CHOP. C-H-O-P. To me, stands for choice with a post. Choice with a post. So we're going to have our underneath guy here run a choice route. He gets the option in different offenses to hook, to break out, possibly to break in. And then over the top of it, we're going to have Isaiah Hodgins run a post. All right, we're going to have him run a post. So what am I looking for as a quarterback? What I'm looking for is I'm looking to see, if I've got middle open. Okay, so no safety sitting back here in the middle of the field, to take away that throw on the post. And then I'm looking at, can I gain leverage to whatever is backside the high portion of this? So if you've got a safety that comes back and he's squatted inside of Isaiah Hodgins here, then we probably don't like the post to the backside because we don't have leverage there. We're either going to just read the choice or we're going to try to get what I talked about on the front side, get that Mike to carry and try to jam one of these unders in to this side. But if I get leverage, then I'm going to try to make sure that this Mike backer holds underneath, this safety gets his width, and now attack the middle of the field. So as you see the look here is that I don't think this is a middle close look. Middle close look would put that safety right there. But it looks like they're playing cover 2 to this side, hard corner, this guy playing the hook, this guy playing the middle, and this guy playing the deep half. And on the backside, they're playing what we call an inverted cover 2. So they're using the corner to technically get back here and play the 2 high safety. Brought the safety down. He's playing outside like a flat defender. And then you've got a guy running as a hook defender. Okay, so it's basically the same in terms of zones that you're covering. But what you notice is this corner is outside, whereas this normally a safety is going to be inside in cover 2. On this particular play, the corner is sitting outside, which plays perfectly to what we're trying to do. Also understand the nuance right here. Isaiah Hodgins, when he comes off on this post, he doesn't just push vertical here and take himself into harm's way with Patrick Peterson. He's going to seam down here. I'm going to force that leverage. So whether the safety's high or the safety's outside, I'm going to try to seam inside and try to gain leverage on whoever that is so I can cross his face once I get to the top of my route. But right here, we get the safety cleared out. So really what I'm reading as a quarterback is this guy right here. I've got the choice to the outside. So if this guy carries the post high, boom, replace with the choice. If that guy stays flat-footed, as we see right here, stays perpendicular to the line of scrimmage, I've got leverage on the corner to the outside. Great timing, great throw, great route and design. Boom. Nice job by Daniel Jones and Isaiah Hodgins for the touchdown. All right. So again, things that I want to see Daniel get better at in the drop back game. So you got a play action, and this is simply just a concept that I call corner, okay, just to keep it simple. So that means the outside guy's got a corner. The complementary route to that is some sort of flat or out, okay? And we're looking to get this concept against cover 2, all right? So we get it. Cover 2, safety's high. That means there's a corner underneath, okay? So the corner underneath. So now what we're really trying to do is simply just high-low that corner. So Daniel comes out and you see his eyes are looking in this direction. Perfect. You got the look. It's perfect against this coverage. Eyes this direction. Just read it and throw it. Okay, read it and throw it. So you could make your decision right here. This corner kind of flat foots it right here. I think he got enough depth that he takes me off the corner route over the top. But just take this one right here, right? You know that you've got a guy in a bind with a high-low. Keep your eyes there. Stay on schedule. Get the ball out. Throw it underneath if you have to, and you get all that space for him to make a play. For some reason, he gets off and goes to his check down that is matched by the Mike linebacker. But you see it right here, right? You see the high-low opportunity off of that defender. At this point, right? And again, I thought he was deep enough, I would have taken the flat. But at this point in the play, if you were getting ready to throw it at this point, you could probably throw either one of these guys because you've got great space in between both of them. But these are the things I want to see Daniel recognize this stuff, stay on time, and make the throw that's out in front of him so we can truly isolate the coverage that we're trying to with particular concepts. Okay, here's another thing. Now, first thing I'll say is these things are tough because more and more teams are playing what we call 5-down looks. So that means they've got defensive end, outside linebacker on the edge, 1, 2, 3 interior guys, and then another defensive lineman, outside linebacker on the other edge. Okay, so with these guys getting more and more athletic, either one of these defensive ends could pop out on a particular look. And so that's why I say this is a little bit more difficult. We've got Zadarius Smith right here. And so he's a primary rush guy, but he can drop at any point in time. And so it's why I bring this up, because here's what you're going to see. You're going to see that the Giants have their 3 receivers up top and 2 receivers down low. And so it's the ability to start to recognize some of these little nuances, where to get your eyes off the snap. Okay, so let me play this out. Okay, so the concept that we have here is we're going to get like a little swing route to that side. Then we're going to get an in route, and we're going to get a hook route. All right, so if we go to that side, we're trying to isolate the outside linebacker. If he goes to cover the swing, we're going to look to cover the hook. Then the inside backer matches to the hook. We're going to throw it up over the top of him. Okay? On the other side, we're simply running, okay, like a hook in and out combination. So as a quarterback here, I know that we're going to block these 5 guys right there. So I know that, okay? So what I'm trying to do is to verify which of these defensive ends pops out, all right? So what I know is I've got a 3 receiver side to the top. So if I come back, I'm going to peek at this defensive end right here. If Zadarius Smith comes right now, I know that I've got them overloaded on the weak side, okay? If he falls off right now, I know I can work back to the front side because I should have numbers to the front side. So again, this is hard because what happens is front side defensive end pops out. Zadarius Smith comes. So again, Minnesota, no idea what they're doing. You'll notice here, right? They've got 1, 2, 3 underneath defenders to that side and 1 underneath defender to that side with all this space wide open right here. Again, these are the things that I'm seeing. Now, Daniel chose the other side. He chose the right side. And again, it was kind of a 50-50. As you get older and you get the ability to peek at things after the snap and know which side you're going to go and still get back to your read, maybe he gets to that point. This time he chose to go to the right because he's got 3 receivers. They match to it really well and cover it. Doesn't really have anything there, but you see Isaiah Hodgins just standing here all by himself on the logo with nobody within 7-8 yards of him. Because again, Minnesota messing it up. Because what you assume is that if this guy comes, then Kendricks has to go this direction. So if that happens, he comes this direction. Now I do have my advantage to the front side off of those 2 defenders. Daniel goes right. Minnesota happens to mess it up to the right. And so they fall into this coverage when he's got 2 guys wide open down here on the bottom. But another good job by Daniel Jones is that nothing's there. He doesn't try to force it, uses his legs, picks up a big first down. All right, little red zone play. All right, so similar to what we were talking about. So before, you remember, they ran 7-22. All right, so big play against man. There's a nice little adjustment off of this. It's a play that I call knife, or you could call it 4-22, where now we're going to make it look the same, push up, but instead of going to the corner, we go back to the inside. Okay, so if we have messed with this guy, we've run the corner route one time, and he's playing wide, now this gives us the opportunity to isolate the inside linebacker with a high-low. All right, so now we get leverage to the inside of that safety. And now that Mike backer has to either carry to the post, we hit the under, or he sits down on the under, we hit the post up over the top. All right, for any coaches that are watching, a lot of times you say, well, how do we know if we should go 722 or 422? What we used to do on this play is we would allow this guy to push up. And if he was being covered in man-to-man, so he got to that point and his defender was inside of him. So the guy was playing press or he got to his defender and his guy stayed inside of him. We said, when you get to the top of the route, if you've got a guy inside of you, doesn't matter if it's a linebacker, doesn't matter if it's a man-to-man guy, doesn't matter if it's a safety, you've got a guy inside of you, break to the corner. If you don't have the guy inside of you, then you just push up and you just take it to the post. So now we've got a zone answer where normally in zone we're hoping to get leverage and take it back to the post. But even if the safety's sitting inside of you on this play, then you can break back to the corner and give yourself an opportunity back to the corner. So we read that based on, do we have somebody at our depth inside of us when we get to the top of our route? If the safety's deep and he's inside of us, it doesn't matter. We're still going to go inside because he wasn't carrying us to the depth that we're at. Only if that guy was playing man-to-man and was carrying us up to our depth, now we feel him, we can go outside. If we push up and this Mike linebacker carries us to that depth, we can go outside. If we get up there and the safety's sitting at the goal line and we get to the goal line and he's sitting inside of us, we can go outside. Anything else, we're going to take it inside. Okay, so it gives you the ability to have a man beater to the outside, so the 722, while also having the 422 against zone like we want right here. So you see it right here. Daniel come off, read the Mike linebacker. Read the Mike linebacker. He starts to carry, read his feet. As soon as he starts to settle, boom, up over the top. So we're really reading this, trying to be set to throw the post. We can be a little bit later on the under, right? Because the only reason we're throwing the under is because the Mike linebacker carried the post. So come off, thinking post, make sure that guy carries. He carries past the goal line, boom, hit the under underneath it. Here, you see it. Kendricks does a nice job of starting and then coming off. Daniel's already decided where really the throw behind it is the throw we want to make right here. Again, bang, bang. Things are fast down here, but knowing where to set, who to read is so key. Let's come back here and let's just kind of watch it from the end zone copy if we can see it. So you see Kendricks there, right, in the screen, watching him. He starts to go, then right there, he settles. See, Daniel's already ready to throw. Once he settles, let him carry past the goal line. Okay, he settles, there's the throw. You see it coming right there at the official. We got a huge window right there if you just hang on to it for another half a second. All right, this is one of my biggest pet peeves, the National Football League. If you follow me, you understand it. Play that we call 72. Okay, so just like we went to 722, 72 is a two-man corner and an under. Okay, this is a man-to-man concept. Notice both guys are running to different zones. So most coverages you're going to see, zone coverages you're going to see, somebody is going to be covering this deep area of the field. Could be a safety, could be a corner, but somebody's going to be covering that. And most coverages that you see, there's going to be somebody covering the hook area of the field. So since we're running both guys to different zones, we never put anybody in conflict on this play. That's why I say it's a man-to-man beater. We've got two guys running away from their guys. So if you get man-to-man, come to this side. On the other side, we're going to run that same concept that we saw earlier, double slants with the swing. So I get double slants with the swing. I'm looking to see, do I have corner off? I've got corner off over there, so now it gives me that read that we were talking about. Read the outside defender, okay? As long as they don't void the inside like they did the first time. He stays inside. We expect him to cover the inside slant. Read the outside defender for your slant to flat. So again, you see it down here. They're playing zone. They play it right. You know, so many teams are expecting in cover two, and Patrick Peterson kind of does it here. Even in cover two, he should pass this off to the backer, and he should fall off and be there for the corner route. But a number of times in the league, you see it. Patrick Peterson jumps right there. So he jumps right there, Technically, what Daniel Jones should be doing is throwing the 7 up over the top. But again, I don't like it because if that corner falls off, he's sitting right there. We got a double team on the 7. We've got a guy sitting inside on the under. I have absolutely nothing over there if they don't screw it up. Patrick Peterson really screws this up and chases the under when he shouldn't, giving you an opportunity at the 7. So that's where the ball should be going. But you're just hoping they screw it up. Don't go over there. Make sure you go to a side where they have to screw it up. In other words, somebody's always in conflict. What's this guy going to do? Is he going to stay wide to the swing? Yes, he is. He's going to give us the slant back behind it. Boom. There it is. Slants back behind it. There's the throw that we should be making over to that side. If he's coming down here, they do screw it up, so he should be getting to the 7 over the top. But these are things, I don't even want him to read over here against zone. I don't like it. See it mess guys up as much as it's successful over there. Keep it as a man beater. You get zone, have a zone beater to the other side as they do right here. Like to see his eyes over there, not put the ball in harm's way. Okay, so here's another similar concept to the corner. So what are we doing? We're running a corner, and instead of running a flat or something, we're going to run a pivot. But ultimately, we're getting the same thing. So this is a man beater, right? Because both guys are doing something then running away. So it's a man beater, but it can also be a zone beater because you've got this guy going inside as opposed to the 72. He's bouncing back to the outside. So when he bounces back to the outside, if I get cover 2 over here, I get to put that corner in a bind once again. Now it's a little bit harder because once we release this guy inside, Patrick should let him go like he should have on the last one. Should let him go. Should fall off to cover the corner. And then there's a good shot of getting this this pivot route again coming outside. All right. So right here again. Okay. So just hang with it right here. You know, the hardest thing about this is the corner gets leverage. Once we go inside, he's got leverage on our pivot until we get all the way back outside the number. So you got to be more patient on this play if you're Daniel Jones. You almost have to read this top down instead of low to high, where you might read it low to high if you got a guy going to the flat right now, so you can see that and then go up over the top. Because we're releasing inside, we're basically releasing the corner to cover the corner route. So you really got to read this high to low. Come back thinking corner, or at least looking at him to force this guy to fall off and cover him, then recover to your pivot once he gets back outside. So again, a little bit impatient right here. So he completes it, but he allowed the corner to play both. The corner comes off to play the corner route, forces him to throw underneath, still has leverage to tackle him. So it's a short gain on something that should have been a little bit deeper, or if he reads this and understands that the concept kind of flips a little bit, he could work this corner and then get that pivot when he's outside leverage. Okay, the other side here is, okay, if you don't like this because it's a man beater and you don't like it because this guy's got to come all the way in and all the way back out, once again, you got corner off over here. So we are going to run this play with a in, a hook, and a swing. And with the corner off, what we know once again is Minnesota's only got 2 guys underneath. So we're going to have an advantage up top on this play. So you can use the bottom as a zone beater. Bottom is a man beater. The top is a zone beater on this particular play if you want, even though the pivot and the 7 could be good. But see up top, right? Up top, here's the 2 defenders. Kendricks goes to cover the in. Now we've got this guy in conflict, right? That's what we're trying to do with zone concepts is put somebody in conflict. That guy's in conflict. He runs out to cover the swing. Boom. Hit the hook right behind it. He stays inside. Then we hit the swing outside of it. And so as we run it, you see, it's exactly what happens. Kendricks goes there. He's number 1. He goes out to the flat. Our hook is sitting wide open over to that side, and we've got our numbers advantage, and we got an easy completion over there. Okay, love this play call. All right, so this play call here looks like we're running kind of a double post here. This guy's coming into the middle, and what we're trying to do here is we're trying to sneak Saquon Barkley out, what we call a T-sneak. So you notice everybody from the top is coming across the field. So if we get man-to-man coverage, we got all of our guys and all of the defenders that are covering them in man-to-man coming from left to right, and we're trying to create interference for the guy that's covering Saquon Barkley, that he's got to go through all this mess, and we hopefully get a rub, and then we pop Saquon Barkley out the backside for a big play. So it comes out really, really well right here. But again, I just want you to watch what Minnesota's doing right here. So it looks to me like it's man-to-man coverage on the front side. Like all those guys are running man-to-man, yet you've got a zone defender and a zone defender on the backside. And so just, again, I don't really know what we're doing here. This guy's chasing man for sure. So that leaves them exposed out here. And if they're doing that, then Kendricks, if he's not playing man, should be sinking out into that zone to help with anything there. So if Saquon comes out and goes that way, I've got him. If he comes out this way, we've got other guys playing zone here. But once again, Minnesota, half the guys are playing man, other guys are playing zone. Perfect play call. He chased in there. All we're doing is putting a guy out to the flat, right? Like, it just, I don't know. I mean, he's just way too open for whatever they're trying to do, and I can't identify if it's supposed to be a man or a zone and why some are carrying man and some are going zone, but perfect play call, huge play for the New York Giants right there. All right, here we go. Let's go back to our bread and butter. Post. Okay, this is the play that we call shove, a shallow and an over. But there it is. Same idea, right? A post with an over and a flat, or an over and a shallow going to the flat. So same concepts that we've seen numerous times. Love to run them. It's their favorite concept. Daniel's really good at it. Okay, so we come out, we just find different ways to do it. Here, he's looking over to read the flat defender, right? There's nobody over there. They're playing man-to-man. Same idea that we saw before. This guy's playing man-to-man on the shallow. He's playing from a high position and outside. So the shallow comes screaming over there, and it's just easy. I mean, that's easy. We're going to hit him, and he's got all kinds of space, and everybody's chasing us once again. You know, something for you quarterbacks to look at when teams are playing man-to-man, and you've got your backside guy disappearing on a shallow. We've got this, what we call an influence or a post or an over coming to that side. Always come out off the snap and peek the backside defender. Okay, so if this backside defender drops off at all, then stay to your front side read, your high-low, the outside post if you want it, but the over to the shallow. But if this defender chases, so he chases the shallow and he's playing man-to-man coverage, easiest throw in football is this inside post or over going to all this space on the backside. So just peek at it right here. And again, this is next level stuff. Patrick Peterson turns and he goes to chase man. Look at all this space over here. Look at all this space over here. And so you come out, and if you get that, you can peek that first. Man, we got a big play opportunity right there. And again, Daniel's working through some stuff, right? He's getting better at this stuff. Never going to be mad. This play is designed to look post, over, shallow. Never wrong to do all of that. It's just, let's take it to the next level. Let's understand where the next level could be. A quick peek to the backside. I get a chase with the backside deep defender. Man, may have a big shot there with the over, but never going to argue about this. Definitive, knows what he's doing, gets it to the shallow, gets another first down. All right, so again, motion. We motion from a three-man side and make it a three-man side on the other side. What am I looking at? Defensively, what do they do? What is their adjustment? What do the defenders do when I motion that guy over? Right? The only thing that happens is this guy right here who's 10 yards deep comes running over this direction. I know Saquon Barkley is on a swing route here, so be ready, quarterbacks. If that's their adjustment, be ready, especially if I think it's man. We come off of this, and I get man-to-man, boom, take it. Take it right there. Just give it to him. This guy here is 15 yards away from him that has to make the tackle with Saquon Barkley in space. But it all starts with the pre-snap. I go to pre-snap. I'm going to peek out here. So I saw that happen. I'm going to peek at this guy that's out in the flat. He comes up and looks like he's impressed. Once I see him go and cover his guy man-to-man, kick it out. Kick it out. Right? If he comes off, right? If this guy comes off on Saquon, we're just going to replace back here with the curl back behind him. The other thing that I see is when we do that, there's always an opportunity as they run this choice route. You could go to the backside there if you wanted to, but with the lack of adjustment over here, love to see Daniel stay to the outside and work that. Instead, he works back to the inside, the first thing that shows where that's the play. And again, simply off of, let's see the movement. Okay, the movement, nobody down here adjusts to Saquon. So that's the first thing that lets me know, okay, they're probably in man-to-man coverage. Plus, this guy's chasing him, not like he's in a safety position, but as he's in a man position. So come off, verify it, kick it out there to Saquon, get yourself a big completion. All right, here we go again. Same play call. Once again, going across, deep, Saquon sneaking out here, okay? So he's sneaking out here. They're bringing pressure off the edge, okay? They're bringing pressure, so perfect play call. Nice job by Daniel Jones. See the pressure. He's unblocked, and I'm going to dump it to my back once again on this T sneak. Boom. Nice catch by Saquon. Turn it up, get a big play. So great job by the Giants, okay? What is Minnesota doing? What is Minnesota doing? Bringing pressure off of here. Dropping the safety down, okay? That's a typical zone dog. Bring strong side pressure, drop the safety down into the zone, so the safety comes down and covers the flat. The linebacker pushes over here, and he covers the hook area. Oftentimes you have somebody running out or dropping out on the backside to cover the backside zone, okay? So they've got this, and they're in a good position to cover this. Yet, A, they don't drop anybody off the backside. Okay, so if you get somebody over there and they catch it, he's got a home run over to that side. But not only that, as they drop this safety down, the safety again covers man-to-man. So he turns and runs over here. Kendricks has to stop and cover what's coming back to the inside. So once again, you've got some kind of a zone dog here, because I don't think it's man. If it's man, then who's covering Saquon? I don't know. So anyways, so they got guys running all over. I don't know what coverage they're playing. Some guy's zone, some guy's man. Leaves a guy wide open out in the flat for another chunk play. All right, here we go. Key moment in the game. The last third down for the Giants. Guess what play they're going to run? Yep, you got it. They're going to run the double post. They're going to run the over with the shallow. They're going to run the swing over here. Let's get back into the wheelhouse of Daniel Jones at key moments in a game. Well done, Brian Daboll. Know what your quarterback's good at. Give him those plays that he's comfortable with. Okay, so here, again, now we get man-to-man. Boom. He's out of there chasing Saquon. He's chasing that. He's chasing that. We go back to the beginning of the snap. What do we talk about? Man-to-man coverage, a stack alignment. He's way outside and he's way off. We're going to push up. We're going to run the shallow. He's got to get through all of this. Plus, he's playing high and try to cut down the space. Impossible to do. And so that's what leads to this easy shallow route right here that is going to seal the game for him. And Darius Slayton's played great all year, and he stepped up when it didn't look like he was going to play at the beginning of the year. He's got opportunities. He stepped up over and over again. Feel bad for the young man that he doesn't make this catch, because he's normally going to make this catch and makes a lot tougher catches than this. Drops this one. Just glad it didn't cost them the game. But you see, Brian Daboll, Daniel Jones, understanding in the moment what my quarterback does well, give him something he's comfortable with. Boom. Right there, could have finished the game. There you go. All you Giants fans should be ecstatic about what you're seeing from your coach and your quarterback and how they've built this thing. Yeah, Daniel Jones is not a finished product yet. He's got a ways to go, but you're seeing progress every year. He's going to have to do some of those things that I showed on here moving forward to become that guy, that difference-making guy from inside the pocket, that franchise guy. But there's a lot to like. And the good thing is that in past years, when things weren't going well and he didn't know what he was looking at, it would lead to turnovers, right? Him throwing interceptions, him getting tackled in the pocket, fumbling the football. That's the difference this year. He's grown a little bit in the pass game, not there yet, but when he doesn't know, he's making plays with his legs. When he doesn't know, he's getting to somebody and getting a 3 or 4 yard completion instead of driving it down the field to something he's not comfortable with. And the coach is staying in his wheelhouse and giving him plays that he really, really likes. And so he's confident in making those throws consistently. Really liked what they've done all year long. But this may have been the best that they've looked all year. Now they get a chance to play the Eagles for the 3rd time. I'm excited to watch this one. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think.